Hey guys, what's going on? Tyrauku here, and I hope everyone's doing great. Today, I want to go over 5 tips that hopefully you haven't heard before, or at least you haven't heard very recently, or maybe even it just clicks something in your head that, like, hey, I need to start doing this. All right, so just let's go ahead and jump right into this video. If you haven't already liked, comment, and subscribed, go ahead and do that. I'll probably remind you again later on, but let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I'm going to be looking over here to the right probably sometimes, or I guess left for you guys. I don't know. I got my things flipped anyways, my camera. But first off, I want to say do the low levels of faction wars for sure. All right. So these are low levels as in like the first 3 stages where you get these 1-star glyphs. I cannot tell you how many times I'll go into somebody's account and be doing specifically speed tuning for the clan boss, but even for arena teams sometimes, they don't have 1-star speed glyphs, all right? Most of the glyphs you get from these low-level faction wars are not going to be that valuable, but 1-star speed glyphs, especially when it comes to clan boss, are irreplaceable, all right? There's times where, specifically in the unkillable teams and counterattack teams, where you need that 1 extra speed to either get your counterattack champion to place up counterattack at the right time or get your man-eaters to go at the right speed, and it's literally a game changer. All right. Now, if you're farming stage 20s all the time anyways, you're going to get those extra 6 keys on the refill, and the stage 20 costs 4, so you might as well go ahead and use your 2 extra keys on doing some low-level stage like this. So at least then you can have a decent stockpile of those 1-star glyphs so that if you do decide to change your clan boss team or move some gear around, you'll have the 1-star glyphs to use, all right? So if you're later in the game, you can do about 4 a day, depending on how many crypts are open. I mean, there's 3. You could essentially do 6 runs of the 1-star stages, no problem. Now, if you just have sometimes I have a faction that I'm very slow with. So what I'll do is I'll just go in there with that faction and only do the 1-star stages. So that gives me 18 runs or so. I guess 12 the first round and then 6 from the refill. So I get about 18 runs of that low stage. And that does me for about the entire week. Some factions like Skinwalkers, Ogren, Banner Lords and Dwarves have been doing it for a while because I'm just not progressed on those. But that's the first tip. Definitely farm for those 1-star speed glyphs specifically. Number 2, solo and duo as many dungeons as you can if you're wanting to focus on like maximizing your efficiency as far as what it comes to like leveling up your champions and getting as much as you can. All right. Now, this mostly pertains to if you're doing it overnight. I did a video recently on Minotaur. If you want to check that out, I'll link it above, I guess, on a little card or whatever. Definitely click that. The videos seem to be received very well, so maybe you can find some value from that. But Minotaur is not the only place you can solo. All right. So Shield Guard here is my solo Minotaur farmer, and he can also do Arcane Keep perfectly fine. All right. So if you have a champion, which I'm sure you do, if they can do Minotaur, they're probably able to do Arcane Keep or very close to doing it on stage 15. Shield Guard, Seal of the Drakes, most champions in lifesteal can do it pretty well. And Seal of the Drakes may not even need lifesteal. So this works out, like I said, like I was getting into, best if you're doing it like overnight, all right? So say you got like 200 extra energy, it doesn't have to be very much. You don't have to load up 1,000 energy and leave it on overnight. But if you have a PC and you can set up an auto clicker, definitely throw this on overnight, especially if you have a little bit more energy, it's even better. But leave it on overnight, run Arcane Keep, run Minotaur with some champions you specifically need scrolls for. Now, obviously, if you're doing Arcane Keep, it doesn't matter who you bring in there. So I have 4 champions I'm going to use as food. But if you're doing Minotaur, you want to bring champions you're actually going to need their scrolls on because you're going to get random masteries distributed across everybody. And that's going to take a lot longer to get everybody leveled up from level 1 to 60. Like I said, the Minotaur video goes into that more in depth. But with Arcane Keep, bring in some like actual food champions you just want to level. As you can see here, my Shield Guard takes about a minute 30, a minute 33 here. My last run, it took me like 2 minutes, I think. So it definitely varies. It's not something you want to do during the day because it's going to take quite a bit of time. But if you can leave it on overnight, definitely do so. It's going to help you out quite a bit with just making sure these potions stay stocked, okay? As you can see, I don't have a ton of them. So I'm going to start doing this as much as I can because potions, especially with all these fusions that have been coming out, they're very, very low supply. Number 3, roll gear. This is going to be kind of like 2 tips built in one. So this would be 3, and then I'll do 3.5. If I can remember, say 3.5. I might even say 4 and just forget how to count. But roll gear to 4-star before you actually sell it. Now, this is the tip that was going around quite a bit before in the raid community, but I haven't heard it mentioned recently. But if you roll a piece of gear to 4-star or level 4 at any rarity, any rank, or anything like that, it's going to sell for a profit no matter what. All right, so let's go ahead and do the math on this. I'll pull up a calculator. I don't know if this is going to be shown on screen. Let me go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see this. Boom. All right. So let's do this. We have level 1, 900 silver. It's guaranteed rolls, so you're never going to get those extra rolls. Let's go ahead and plug in 900 plus, it's going to cost 1,500 to do this one, plus 1,500. Okay. Plus, what was that, 2,950? Then plus 4,400. All right, so we got 9,750 silver invested into this piece of gear. So let's go ahead into here. Like I said, these are all guaranteed rolls, those first 4 levels, all right? So like I said, we had 9,750, hit sell. It sells for 19,440. Now, if you're really gonna try hard for an artifact enhancement event, do this and it'll help you with that little extra push. Granted, it is a small extra push. So we go ahead and in here and look at the artifact enhancement event. Like upgrading something to level 4 gives you basically no points. But if you're really, really close to something down here, you may need to go ahead and do that. And at least you'll know you're not actually losing any silver. Tip number 3.5 with this and with artifact enhancement events in general is that if you know one is coming up soon and you really want to upgrade some of your champions, go ahead and upgrade a piece of gear from 12 to 15, stop it at level 15, because as you can see, you only get points on 4, 8, 12, and 16. So if you already have a piece of gear at level 12, but you really want to get that to 16, go ahead and get it to 15. Then when the artifact enhancement event starts, take that level 15 piece of gear up to level 16, you'll get all the points, and then during that time, you'll be able to use the extra stats that you've gotten from that piece of gear. This especially works well if you're like trying to hit an accuracy cap for a certain area of the game, and you need to actually push your accuracy a little bit more, upgrade a chest plate, upgrade a banner, whichever one has accuracy, boost it up to 15, and then that boost to 16 will give you a little extra, plus it'll give you these points for the artifact enhancement event, and you're really just maximizing your resources and your points throughout these events. Now, the next tip, which I guess would be number 4, comes after 3.5, is forge and honestly, farm in the campaign. This kind of relates to the same thing, but I'm also going to talk about the forge here. Forge the top row pieces of gear primarily. Like first, focus on forging the top row pieces of gear if you really want the good set bonuses. The reason why I say that is because these bottom row pieces of gear, there's so much variability, all right? So boots, for example, most of the time, now not all situations, of course, most of the time you want speed boots. Well, for boots, you can get several different flat stats. You can get attack percent, defense percent, HP percent. So there's so many different options for a main stat you can get, let alone all the different substat options you can get as well. So if you are wanting a specific pair of boots, the likelihood of you forging a piece that's actually usable is far less than the likelihood of forging a weapon, which can only have one main stat, which is attack, or a helmet, which can only have HP, or a shield that can only have defense. So then for these 3 pieces, all you need to worry about is what are the substats here. So then you can use these charms down here and know, hey, if I put a accuracy substat on a perception shield, then hey, I'm more likely to get accuracy on a set that's most likely going to be used on a champion who needs accuracy. So my likelihoods of forging a piece of gear that's going to be useful is far better than if I went with the boots, chest, or gloves. Now, granted, it doesn't work every time, and sometimes it rolls these other pieces, but hey, you can even sell those for a very, very solid profit. And that is actually the next tip, is if you're running low on silver, go in here, and I actually did this a few days ago. I literally hit 0 silver, okay? I was on stream, I hit 20,000 silver, and I was like, hey, let's go ahead and buy some mystery shards from the shop and go ahead and hit 0 silver. I've never seen it done before, and I finally did it. I don't know if it's an accomplishment, don't know if I should be disappointed, but it is what it is. Now, after that, I went in the forge, actually it was yesterday, I did some spider tournament as well, but I forged every piece of resilience gear in the 5 to 6 star range. Now for me, it was a 5 to 6 star range. For you, it may be the 4 to 5 star range. It just depends on where you're at in faction wars, but that's what I did. I think I made like 3 to 4 million silver pretty quickly, all right? And when you're doing this, please, please, please do not sell every piece you see, all right? Resilience set, while it may not be meta, may not be the best set ever, you're gonna forge some pieces that are really good. Now, if I'm about to show you some pieces that are actually really good, and if you say these pieces are bad, You're obviously significantly further in the game than I am, and then you can sell everything. You're not going to need these pieces anyways. But a helmet, 2 accuracy, that's not bad. 2 speed, 1 HP, 6 star, not bad. 2, sorry guys, that's pretty scuffed. I didn't even let you see the stats. All right, let's do this again. 2 crit rate, 2 speed, crit rate again, triple HP percentage on a resilience set, incredible. Crit damage with 2 crit rate. The defense roll was a little bit crappy, but it is what it is. We got a HP percent, 2 crit damage, which isn't great, but then we got this. 2 attack, mediocre, and then 2 HP percent. Let's check this out on my Vizier. I know he has some really good boots. I guess I can go ahead and just click them right here. So these boots, 2 crit rate, 45 speed. If that's not a piece of gear that you could fit in, even as a broken set, then you're obviously quite a bit further along than me. But when you're doing this, like I said, make sure the piece that you're looking at isn't worth keeping, okay? And if it is, roll to 4. It's going to be profitable. If it rolls to 4, it doesn't give you the subset you want, then sell it, all right? You're still going to make a profit on it. It's still going to help you with your silver. I've been doing this. Like I said, I have more than 0 silver right now. So obviously I've been doing this. Definitely helps out. You can do it with all these sets. Now just be careful. If you're going to do it with the resilience, keep in mind that you may use these purple ones. And if you still want to forge some 5 to 6 star pieces and like actually use them, then you may run out of these purple pieces. Just a heads up. So keep in mind where your resources are at and how you should spend them. But guys, I hope that those 5 tips, I believe I counted them right. I hope those 5 tips helps you out. Hopefully one at least clicks with you and you can make use of it. Thank you all very much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to go ahead and do that. I'm pushing really hard to try to go ahead and hit 4,000 by the end of the month. I think we can get it by the end of the day today, actually. Thank you all so much for your support. It means the world. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. If you want to click one of the ones about to pop up, feel free to do that. Check out that video. Watch me live, twitch.tv/Tyrauku as well. Other than that, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.